Well, we're back to this backdrop because change it up. What's up, fans? 2 videos in one day, guys. Not only is the Thursday night game messing with teams, but it's messing with me. So if you notice today, I put out the video that me and my dad recorded yesterday with our picks and all that stuff. We're gonna break down some injury news, the usual. We're gonna talk about some transactions that happened, break down my 5 things that the Dolphins need to do to beat the Texans tomorrow, and then we'll get to one of you guys' comments, questions. So let's get started with some news and notes, right? Damien Robinson, Snacks, as they like to call him. Snacks, literally got traded from the Giants to the Lions for a 5th round pick. There's a lot of Giant fans, a lot of Giant YouTubers losing their shit over this because he is a great defensive tackle and they traded him for a 5th. You're telling me the Dolphins couldn't call up the Giants and be like, hey, we'll take him for a 5th? You know, we need some help on this defensive line. I know we got some tackles with Taylor, with Gachow. You know, these guys are really stepping up and playing great, but this guy is like top 10 defensive tackle, and you're gonna tell me you couldn't go out and grab him, Miami? We have that news, which I just wanted to throw that one out to you guys and see what you guys think about the fact that we didn't even try to get him. I don't even know if we didn't try, but like a 5th, like seriously. The other thing is, it's now official. Albert Wilson is on IR. Season is over. But he doesn't need surgery. He doesn't need surgery on his hip, but he is on IR, which is bad because we obviously lose our playmaker. But it's good because he doesn't need surgery, which means he will be back next season. No limitations, no worry about his career being over, because even if he wasn't back with us, for this dude's career to be over would suck because he was underutilized in the Chiefs and then just lights it up with the Dolphins. Made us completely forget about Jarvis Landry, and then he gets injured, but it's here nor there. Can't dwell on the past. It's just really good that he doesn't need surgery, and he will be back for us. So, very happy about that. And then the last little tidbit I want to throw at you guys is there was this tweet, and the Dolphins-Packers game on November 11th, which was slated for 1 o'clock, has been flexed to 4:25. So there'll be a 4:25 game instead of a 1 o'clock game. So let me get into some injury reports. We'll break down who's questionable and all that jazz. And I will tell you guys right now that the wide receiver that they brought up from practice squad is not Isaiah Ford. I know a lot of you guys are going to be super pissed, and a lot of you guys wanted Isaiah Ford to come up. It's not Isaiah Ford, it's Levante Carroo. So Carroo is brought up, and I know a lot of you guys are going to lose your shit. Why is Carroo? You know, why didn't they take Ford? Ford is a better player. Carroo has played in 28 games. Carroo has played on special teams. So that's why Carroo gets the call up, because Carroo can fill in the role that Albert Wilson is now leaving on special teams. A lot of you guys don't realize that Albert Wilson played special teams for us too. So Carroo comes up because he has game experience and he plays with special teams. Ford has never played in a game nor on special teams. I know, you know, one player's better, one player shined. Ford shined in the beginning of training camp, in the beginning of OTAs, and then he disappeared. So it is Carroo. We'll see how this pans out. But he was training, and he was trained to be Parker's replacement. So now we got the 2 big bodies in there because Parker's going to be playing. But yeah, so let's break down the injury report. This is the status right now. We know that Kenny Stills, we know Harris, Ryan Tannehill didn't travel with the team, so they're not playing. They're officially out. Those 3. Questionables are AJ Derby, he's questionable, and then Mike Gesicki is questionable with a shoulder injury. So if those 2 can't go, it's going to be O'Leary, got his name right this time, and Smythe. But I don't see Gesicki not going. So, but again, we'll find out tomorrow. But those are the only questionables. Everyone else pretty much practiced in full today. No limitations on anyone else. So other than that, it should be a clean bill of health for all the dudes, the dude skis. So that's the injury report. So we got right now at receiver, we got Amendola, we got Jakeem Grant, and we got Devontae Parker. It's not too bad. They normally run a 3 wide receiver set anyway, so it's not too bad. Maybe Parker can show why he wants to be with the team, being that he came out and said, look, I didn't tell my agent to say that, this, and that, blah, blah, blah. We'll see, dude. We'll see. Step it up, light it up. But if he does light it up and he does play great, and all of a sudden someone's like, hey, we'll give you that third, I wouldn't doubt his ass getting traded on Monday. I'm saying it now. If he plays great tomorrow night, don't be surprised his ass doesn't get traded on Monday. But let's get into the 5 things the Miami Dolphins need to do to beat this Houston Texans. Number 1, we haven't done this all season. We need a pass rush. We need to get at the quarterback. We need to make Watson uncomfortable. The Houston Texans have the worst rated offensive line. So if this team, now Cameron Wake is the second game back, so the rust should be off. Woodard is back. He's out of concussion protocol. You know, Quinn has been playing great. We got Branch in there, so we got 4 very, very capable pass rushing defensive ends. These defensive tackles need to step up and they need to do their job. And if this pass rush can make Watson's day horrible, and if this pass rusher can get there and hit him and make mistakes and have him throw interceptions, it will be a winnable game. I'm saying winnable game. So that's number 1. We got to get in the quarterback's face. We got to make his day very hard. Number 2, DeAndre Hopkins. We got to limit him. All right. Do what we did with AJ Green and the Cincinnati Bengals. AJ Green, I think he had like 80 receiving yards. He didn't get a touchdown. He didn't break any big ones off. They need to do exactly what they did with AJ Green with DeAndre Hopkins. The funny thing is, Xavier Howard did film study on DeAndre Hopkins, and he said this MFer, he doesn't say MFer, but I'm saying MFer, pushes off a lot. There's a lot of offensive pass interference that isn't getting called. We'll see if when him bringing it out to the media and stuff, if the refs going to start watching this and being like, this dude's pushing off a lot. So it's going to be a very physical game. Is Xavier Howard going to shadow DeAndre Hopkins the whole game? I don't know. I feel like if they put Hopkins in the slot, I honestly think that they'll put Mika on him. Mika is playing well. He did have a bad game last week, but I feel like the whole defense had a bad game last week. So we got to limit this mofo. The number 3 thing the Dolphins need to do to win this game, we got to convert third downs, and we need to score when we're in the red zone. I don't want any goddamn field goals, and I don't want any 3 and outs. You got to give this defense time to breathe. You need to let them get some rest so the pass rush and so everyone can be healthy to cover and do what they need to do on defense. And we need scores. We scored 24 points in this game, we're winning. I'm calling it right now. If the Dolphins score 24 or more points in this game, we will win. I think that the defense is very, very upset about what happened last week, and I think that they're going to come out and I think they're going to light it up. I think they're like, we need to show that we're not that team. We played good defense throughout most of the season. Last week we dropped the ball. We can't do it again. So if we score 24 points, if we convert these third downs, and if we score in the red zone, Dolphins will win. I'm saying it right now. Number 4 thing the Miami Dolphins need to do to win this game, you got Jadeveon Clowney and you got J.J. Watt coming after Brock Osweiler, who's going back to Houston to show, hey, you cut me, but I'm still okay. I'm still a good quarterback. I'm not great, but I'm good. I'm not a piece of shit. We got to protect this dude. We got to protect Brock Osweiler. We got to give him time to throw the ball. We got to give him time to make his reads, to do what he needs to do. So this offensive line needs to step up. This offensive line needs to do exactly what they did against the Bears. Everyone is picking against the Dolphins in this game. You got the Houston Texans, who are now on a 4-game winning streak. They're 4-3, same record as the Dolphins. They started 0-3. The Dolphins started 3-0. 4-game winning streak. Everyone thinks that the Dolphins are going to lose this one. Everyone thinks that the Texans are going to take this. This offensive line needs to now do what they did against the Bears. Like I said 2 seconds ago, they shut down Khalil Mack. They need to shut down Watt, and they need to shut down Jadeveon Clowney. Laramie Tunsil's been playing great. Juwan James had a career game against the Bears. Do it again, and let's get this W. And the last and final thing the Dolphins need to do to win this goddamn game, guys, you got to rush for over 100 yards. We got to rush for over 100 yards. The offensive line protects Brock Osweiler, and if the offensive line can get some push on this defensive line, we can get some running plays going, then we don't have to rely on these banged up wide receivers. We can run the ball, chew up clock, let our defense rest, score some touchdowns, and win this goddamn game. That's honestly what we need to do. But we need to rush. When the quarterbacks have thrown for under, I think, 30 attempts under Adam Gase, the winning percentage is ridiculously high. So this team needs to run the ball. Is it with Frank Gore? Is it Kenyon Drake? Is Ballage going to be active? I don't know yet, but there's a lot of things that are in play that can happen. But what they need to do is they need to run the ball and they need to stick to the run. So those are my 5 things that the Miami Dolphins need to do to win this game. The one I think is the most important out of all of them is this defense needs to step up. I'm taking like 3 of them and clumping into one. This defense needs to step up. I really think that if the offense, like I said before, scores 24 points and the defense just plays better, just forces interceptions, sacks them, at least hold them to 3 punts a game, unlike the Lions where they only punted once. I honestly think the Dolphins win this game. This game really relies on the defense getting some stops, and the offense needs to stay on the field longer. This shit happens, Dolphins will win. Now, being that I gave you my 5 things, you guys are probably wondering, well, what do you think is going to happen, Doug? Do you think the Dolphins are going to win? Deep in my heart of hearts, right now, if you put a gun to my head and say, are the Dolphins winning tomorrow, I would tell you no. And I know this is the first game where I'm saying this, and a lot of you guys are probably like, you're not even a real fan then, or you don't know what you're talking about, but they won 1 game against this Houston Texans team. They never won in the Texas Stadium. So in my heart, I don't feel good about this game. I don't think we'll win this game. It just feels absolutely horrible. But my pick, I'm picking the Dolphins. If the Dolphins win, it's going to be by 3 or 2 or 1. It's going to be a very short margin if the Dolphins win. If the Dolphins lose, it's going to be by at least 7. They always lose by a huge amount. They always win by a small amount. And I will stick to that. So I'm not very confident about this game, but I do think they'll win. I do think everyone's against them. The media's against them. Their own beat writers are against them. And everyone has them down and out. The injuries are against them. The cards are stacked against them. When they're down and out like this is when they fight through and they actually win. So picking the Dolphins to win this one. Comment below. Let me know what you guys think. If you're a Houston Texans fan, you're obviously going to think I'm an idiot. I don't know what I'm talking about. But comment anyway. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you think the Texans need to do to beat the Dolphins. If I missed anything and you're a Dolphins fan, let me know. Comment below. Speaking of comments, let's get to your comment of the day. And this one comes from Ryan Beast 50. He said, I found out that the Dolphins usually play better against better defenses rather than bad defenses. It's so weird. That's just how the Dolphins do. They play up to their opponents and they play down to their opponents. So watch, when we play the Bills, say the Bills don't win another game and they're a two-win team, the game will be like a 2-point game. Say we're like 4 games over 500 and they're 4 games under 500 and they have freaking Anderson quarterbacking again. It'll probably be a shootout and we'll probably win by 1. That's what the Dolphins do. When the cards are stacked against them, they fight through and they play hard. It's just the Dolphins. You go in thinking we're going to lose and then we win. And then you go in and you're like, we should win this game. We should really win this game. This team sucks and we lose. So that's the life of being a Dolphin fan. But that's the video. I will see you guys tomorrow with my post reaction. But be sure to follow me on Twitter. Like I said in my last video, I can talk to you guys in real time and all that stuff on Twitter. So if you follow me on Twitter, we could tweet. I'm going to take my question for the post game on Twitter, so be sure to follow me on Twitter, and after the game's over tomorrow, to tweet me your questions, and I will pick your question for the post game tomorrow on Twitter, so follow me on Twitter. Follow my second channel, The Bit Boys. We play video games every Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. We're going to be playing Madden, because the new cards, the most feared cards are out. We're also going to be playing a bunch of other cool games. We've been playing Mega Man, new Mario Party, God of War, all these cool games. So be sure to go over there if you like video games, subscribe to that. It would mean a lot to me. And finally, give this video a thumbs up. Why give this video a thumbs up? Because you still believe in this team I know it's hard, especially with all these injuries. I know it's hard because the Texans defense isn't anything to scoff at. They got a really good defense. But it's about that offensive line, that very weak offensive line, that I'm thinking we can pull something out here. So give a thumbs up because you think the Dolphins are going to win. Be sure to subscribe because I do this stuff all the time. I'm not only a Dolphins channel, but I'm also an NFL channel like we did picks earlier today. So be sure to subscribe, and I will see you guys tomorrow after the game. If you guys would like me to go live at halftime, get this video to 150 likes. If this video gets to 150 likes and my dad doesn't have to be in work early, at halftime we'll live stream. We'll chat with you guys. So be sure to get this video 150 likes, and maybe we'll see you at halftime. If not, you'll definitely see me after the game. Stay classy, and like usual, guys, fins up. And you know what that means when it's Wednesday? It means we're making our picks. We're making our picks. This week is like jam-packed. So we got today is the picks, and then tomorrow before the game is going to be the preview for the Dolphins Texans, and then right after the game is the reaction for the Dolphins Texans. So it's like these